Who was Dale Carnegie? Dale Carnegie was not born rich. He was not born confident. And he was certainly not born influential. He came from a small farm in rural Missouri, waking up before sunrise to milk cows and walking miles to school. He grew up shy, insecure, and almost invisible, just like millions of people feel today. But he had one silent obsession: understanding why some people shine while others remain in the shadows. After years studying communication, psychology, and human behavior, he transformed himself, then transformed millions. He became the author of one of the best-selling books in human history, How to Win Friends and Influence People. And above all, he became the man who taught the world that the real power is not in speaking, but in listening.
This channel exists for people who feel like Carnegie once felt: unseen, unheard, underestimated, but filled with potential waiting to be awakened. Stories of Restless Minds is not about perfection, it's about transformation. Today, we revisit Carnegie's forgotten wisdom to bring clarity to your life, your relationships, your confidence, and your inner strength.
The myth of the big talker. The world celebrates the loud ones, but volume is not the same as value. Many people speak because silence scares them. Others speak because they need attention to feel alive. But the powerful person is calm. They don't force presence, they attract it. Carnegie realized that those who talk the most often do it out of insecurity, not strength. And in a world drowning in noise, the person who listens becomes unforgettable. People don't remember what you said, they remember how you made them feel. The loud may attract attention, but the listener earns respect. Carnegie's turning point. When Carnegie began teaching, he believed people improved by talking more. But he realized the opposite. They improved when someone truly listened to them. He witnessed shy people blossom when they felt understood. Communication stopped being performance and became connection. He shifted his philosophy from "how can I impress people" to "how can I understand them?" That realization became the foundation of everything he taught. Listening as a superpower. Listening sounds simple, but it is incredibly rare. Most people don't listen. They wait. They wait to argue, to correct, to respond, to talk about themselves. But when someone feels heard, their fears soften, their heart opens, and influence becomes possible. Listening shows emotional maturity, respect, and presence. In a world where everyone wants to be right, the listener becomes the person everyone wants to speak to. Listening turns strangers into friends and conflict into cooperation. The ego trap. The ego hates silence. It wants to dominate, interrupt, and correct. But every time the ego speaks, connection weakens. Real strength comes from curiosity, not dominance, from understanding, not overpowering. When you silence your ego, you begin hearing what people truly feel, not just what they say. Influence begins not with speaking, but with understanding. Lovely way. The father who only criticized his son. Carnegie tells the story of a father who realized he had spent years criticizing his little boy and almost never loving him out loud. He scolded him for being messy, for being slow, for being imperfect, for being a child. One night, standing by the boy's bed, he whispered to himself, "I have been judging my son, not loving him." That moment broke him. and rebuilt him. He became a new father, one who noticed effort instead of failure and potential instead of flaws. Carnegie shared this story to remind us we often criticize the ones we love the most because we forget how fragile they really are. Encouragement transforms. Criticism corrodes. Love strengthens. Judgment destroys. A changed father can change a child's destiny.
The power of empathy, the lesson of Abraham Lincoln. Abraham Lincoln used to criticize harshly. His words were sharp enough to start wars, until one letter almost led him into a duel that could have ended his life. Shocked, he made a vow: I will never criticize again. He learned to see people beyond their mistakes, to see their pressures, their fears, their hidden struggles. Carnegie shared this story to teach that empathy is not weakness, it is wisdom. When you step into another person's shoes, your perspective changes, and criticism becomes unnecessary.
Why criticism never works. Criticism shuts the mind. It awakens the instinct to defend, not to grow. People do not improve when they feel attacked. They simply shrink. Criticism may change behavior temporarily, but encouragement changes character permanently. Encouragement builds. Criticism breaks. And because of that, the path to influence is built with patience, not punishment.
Confidence is trained, not born. Confidence is not luck, it is repetition. It grows when you take action even while afraid. Listening trains confidence because it slows your mind and strengthens your emotional stability. You don't need to be loud when your inner voice is steady. Confidence is not noise. It is self-mastery. It is presence. It is choosing calm over chaos. Confidence is built in silence and expressed in action.
The world doesn't need louder voices. It needs deeper souls. Souls willing to listen, to understand, to grow. And always remember, confidence comes after action. And the first action is the simplest one. Listen.